Hey guys, so another unit, the third unit, will be coming to GL DFFOO tomorrow, and JP DFFOO is Papalymo. Yeah, but he is considered a new character that nobody has seen yet, not even in the JP side. So he will be getting his FR and BT tomorrow. And let's talk about his kit. So first, I just want to mention whatever that I will be talking about is not like 100% certain. Some of it were, some of it is not. And we did some estimation, and we do believe that the HP dumps, total FR HP damage bonus, that we are quite confident that it should be accurate. All right. Yeah, so based on the video that was showcased, two videos, one was showcasing his ice form, and the latest video was showcasing his fire form, and we used that to calculate the overall HP damage limit that Papalymo has, the percentage of additional damage that his BT provides, as well as his number of HP dumps from all his abilities. So let us just go through his kit, and we will talk about his final score at the end. So Papalymo's BT, do you want it? Yes, you will need or want Papalymo's BT. If you just want his turn hogging capability, he does still work without his BT, but who wants turn hogging in FR, right? Definitely not me. Anyway, so his BT does come with a very interesting, but several very interesting effects that base on either his ice form or fire form. Well, anyway, first of all, his BT has 10 turns, but that is because he turn hogs. So usually turn hogger like Neon, Tidus, they usually have very high BT effects. Okay, first of all, his BT inflicts 6 turn gold frame paralysis that not only paralyzes the enemy but increases the HP damage that the enemy receive. We are not too sure about how many percent, probably 10 or 20% HP damage up, but it is pretty good. And it has additional damage by 10% of HP damage dealt. So this is similar to Wise. Okay, so when you deal cap damage with Wise BT effect active, you will deal additional 10% as true damage, or basically the additional damage on top of your HP damage. So Papalymo does that as well, 10%. His BT effect changes depending on his stance, so except there are a few general aura that is the same, which is Brave Gain, Brave Damage and Limit Up, HP Damage and HP Limit Up. And as we calculated, his BT should provide the party with 30% HP damage limit. There should not be any self HP damage limit. And if Papalymo is in fire form, then when you activate his BT, you will gain fire enchant, defense ignore for the entire party, and for every brave hit you get additional brave hit, just like Prish LD call. Okay, and that is actually a really good effect to have, especially if you are using characters that has attack with one brave hit and then HP dump. So that will actually help the specific unit to cap on HP damage, and usually this unit have very high number of HP dumps. If you are in his ice form, then when you activate his BT, you will enchant the party with ice, and you get brave gain per brave hit, which is also a very good effect, which is similar to one brave hit for every brave hit. This one is brave gain per brave hit, and it should be based on either his max brave or something, or his damage. And he also have brave refund, which means he allows the party to recover brave after the end of turn. We are not exactly sure if you can change stance after you have activated Papalymo's BT, because from the video we do know that he was in his BT ice stance, but he were doing fire attacks. So which means the BT effect get captured depending on what stance Papalymo is when he activated his BT, and after that if we just switch stance it will not change his BT effect. So please do take note of this. So what does that makes Papalymo? He was a DPS and still is a DPS, but the turn hogger kind of DPS, which means he will not do as much damage as most DPS unit in the BT phase. But if you're out of the BT phase and you want to chain your attacks, then Papalymo can do it. But yes, with FE 50, it is okay. But if you are just relying to complete the fight within one FR, you might not feel satisfied with the damage that he is throwing out. Anyway, with his BT, he become a disabler. And then he now is also an enchanter as well as utility support. So what do I mean by utility support? Because he support the team not just based on aura, but based on the additional effects like giving additional brave hit, defense ignore, brave gain per brave hit. So those are really interesting effect in my opinion. As those effect, when you bring like another dedicated aura bots, usually it will definitely ensure that your party will hit cap damage, so it is at least good for that. In terms of HP down for his entire kit, with this estimation, and like I say, we are pretty confident that this should be correct. So Astra Fire is 6 AoE HP dumps, and Umbra Ice is 12 single target HP dumps. If you are in Fire mode, his EX will do 8 AoE HP dumps, and EX in Ice mode is 12 single target HP dumps. So you kind of like get the drill. If you are fighting against multiple enemy, go Fire. If you are fighting against a single target enemy, go Ice. LD is 14 single target HP dumps, so it doesn't matter if he's in Ice or Fire, but LD is 14 single target HP dump. FR is 4 HP dump at 260% HP damage limit. Foul is 6 AoE HP dumps, while Xenoglossy is 10 single target HP dumps. And all of this attack except for Astra Fire and Umbra Ice is instant turn. So if you want, you can like FR, LD, EX, Xenoglossy, Foul, Xenoglossy, EX, you can just keep chaining his attack and you will not have to pass your turn to another unit, which is what Turn Hogger does. So overall, looking at this HP dump, I'm actually not really that hype over this. It is okay, but yeah, I will see how it goes. Alright, so how do you use Papalymo's kit? Okay, so first of all, his kit has additional 20% HP damage limit up. I'm not sure where this comes from. It can be from his buff, can be from his overhit. It can also be from his BT having 20% to self, but we doubt it is, because usually if you have that effect, it is usually a flat 50%, as a lot of other units already have that. So I expect that it's probably from his overhit, because from the video he was switching between ice and fire and he still have that 20% HP damage limit up. His FR is not exactly generic because it does have that magic condition, and I do not really like the weapon condition in this era. And his FR has no HP damage limit. So his FR is probably the last FR you wanted to use. You probably would want to use another unit's FR, those with 50% HP damage limit up. So yeah, but by all means, right, if his Papalymo is going to hog all of its turn, then you will be able to fulfill all the condition anyway. Like you activate his FR because it is instant turn, then you can use his EX, LD, you can just keep chaining. The entire 10 turn can be Papalymo's. So no problem in that sense. If you want to use his FR as the main FR, you will be able to achieve quickly up to 999%. So with his BT now, as I mentioned, he somewhat become like a utility support unit. So depending on what the fight need, if the fight need defend ignore like Shiva, then you can bring him. If the fight needs have very high Brave resistance, then you can be in Ice mode for Brave gain. If the fight reduces Brave gain, then you can be in Fire mode to increase your Brave damage and Brave hit. Okay? In terms of his stun, there's 6 turn stun, and that is more than enough usually fighting against Shinryu. So yeah, so he covers a lot of role right now. And as a DPS, you work depending if you're fighting a single unit, use Ice as I mentioned, AoE then use Fire. For Crystal passive, I would recommend you use U4 because he will be standing there taking so many turns, and his EX is also instant turn, so the more time he can use his EX, the better it is, and his EX also hit harder than his other skills, except his LD for single target. Apart from that, you can probably use any generic passives. Overall score, again, I want to remind, beware, because all of this that I mentioned in this video are based on our estimation and calculation, but we are confident that they are correct. So anyway, I'm giving Papalymo a 6.5 to 7. His damage is not really that, and most of the time we can already win a fight within 1 FR. Why do we want to prolong the fight and go into HP damage bonus retain to use all these instant turn attacks? So it doesn't really make sense to me, and we have much better unit to win Shinryu, which is why I gave Papalymo just a slightly above average score. And the reason I gave him a slightly above average score is because his BT effect is indeed useful and works for multiple conditions depending on which mode you are in. And in fact, his damage also works in either. So he's a very versatile unit, but again, like we have mentioned previously about cell tiers, that a lot of us probably have some unit that do the same thing as him. So this reasoning is applicable for Papalymo as well, because 6 turn stun, if you have cell tiers, or in fact you are planning to get Fusoya, then you don't need that 6 turn stun anyway. Brave gain, if you have, you are bringing unit like Kate Sith or Charlotta, they also kind of like provide very similar things. But if Papalymo is your fave, by all means do pull for him. If you're a new player especially, I would definitely suggest you to pull for Papalymo, because if you are returning to do a lot of other Shinryu content, there will be several contents that have some crazy reduction. So Papalymo will be able to effectively counter whatever boss mechanic that they have in regards of Brave damage and Brave gain, single target or multi-target, so you will find him to be pretty useful. For me personally, what will I do tomorrow? I do not have cell tiers, and I do wish to have a unit where their BT can just inflict more than 5 turn of paralysis. So if I will be chasing Kiran first, once I get Kiran FR, if I gotten Fusoya's BT, maybe I will just try and ticket Papalymo as well. Or else I might actually chase Papalymo. And another reason or decision for me to gem Papalymo is his partner, his banner mate. If his banner mate has a BT that I do not own, and I feel like that unit will be Vincent, then I might jam Papalymo's banner, because I can actually have a chance to get Vincent as well as Papalymo's BT together with Papalymo's FR. So that is pretty good value for me. So anyway, good luck with your pulls, and yeah, if Papalymo is your favorite, just pull for him.